Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look right now at some stocks. They're on the move today. I'm Tom Keene, with me, Paul Sweeney, and Bloomberg's Lisa Mateo post her 12th breakfast. See how she does that?
You got to stay hydrated. You got to stay well fed.
She's hydrated. You know, that's all there is to it. Stock movers, what do you have?
All right, I wanted to go retail. All right, we'll start with Macy's. Their shares are improving. They were lower, and now they're rising as much as 3%. The way people shop, right, is changing. A lot of people are heading to Amazon.
Yes.
You get your luxury stuff online. So things are starting to change. So Macy's had to change. So they changed their strategy. They wanted to focus on the best performing locations. They improved the staffing there. They improved, the displays there. And it looks like that is starting to work for them. Better than expected quarterly results. Comparable sales fell less than expected. They did rise, though, at Bloomingdale's and Bluemercury. Those are their higher end chains. Revenue topped estimates. Maintained its sales outlook for the current year despite tariffs, moderation in consumer discretionary spending, rising competition. Despite all that, they're still rising above.
94,000 employees.
Yep.
It's not a small venture.
No, it's still big.
Yeah.
And but again, the department store business, it's been, it's been in an evolution for the last 30 years, I would say 20 years.
Well, we had Nordstrom go
Yeah.
private here. The Mexicans took out Nordstrom 5, 6, 8 days ago. 10-year total return, negative 12% per year.
Yep.
Yeah, and they say what really helps them is their range, because they have the off price, they have less expensive, and then they have the luxury too. So they have a little bit of both, which actually helps them out, giving them a little bit of flexibility.
Next.
Abercrombie and Fitch up as much as 33% this morning. It's wild. Upped its full year outlook. It sees full year net sales growth of 3 to 6%. And this included about $50 million of tariff expenses. Here's the thing. Abercrombie, it's been reducing its exposure to China in recent years. Vietnam, its top vendor. That's followed by Cambodia and India. What really helped was the Hollister brand. Comparable sales were up 23%. Way past expectations. The fashion mix has drawn in this broader audience. I mean, I had to update my jeans, so I went there with my daughter.
Did we?
She said, the skinny jeans are out, Mom. You got to get with the times, and you have to update it. So we went there. Mom got some new jeans. And, of course, since I went there, I had to get her a couple pairs.
Are they still more expensive than
They're
everyone else?
a little bit pricier. They are. They are a little bit pricier. But they last. I just have to say that. But their shares have been crazy skyrocketing this morning.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So we go from retail, we'll take you over to tech. We'll go to cybersecurity company Okta. Shares have been lower, down as much as 11%. This weaker than expected outlook for the second quarter. Analysts just thought, it was too conservative. Here's the thing, though. They also said they're going to cut about 3% of its workforce, about 180 workers. They said they want to gear more of their resources to priorities that will drive growth. So we've seen this with a few companies starting to cut back on their workers. And then finally, I want to take you to Vail Resorts. Paul, you're my ski guy. Okay, shares have been up as much as 12%. They really had a tough winter. They're based in Colorado, Broomfield, Colorado.
Yep.
Season-to-date skier visits down about 3.1% from a year earlier, so fewer people going. Vail shares have actually fallen 19% this year. But the big reason why the shares are up is because, they said they're going to bring back their former chief executive, Rob Katz. He's going to lead the company again. He's replacing Kirsten Lynch, who stepped down. She's going to remain in that leaving the board, but it will also stay in that advisory role on top of it. So that kind of is what sparked investors. They like that news.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.